I think in people have commented how they're a young basketball team and they've continued to get better as the year goes on. Like I think the whole league is getting better as the year goes on. And watching their game with Northwestern the other night, it's also the sign of when you go play someone a second time, and people make adjustments. And I thought the game the other night, Morgan, watching the tape of it, really stepped up and gave him a different presence inside. And I also felt like Hardaway played with a confidence level that, again, he's played a lot of basketball. He's starting to really change his level of play. So in that game, anyways, those two really stepped up and gave them a different effort.
The first time you played them, I think Novak came down and hit a three on the first possession and then didn't hit another one the rest of the way. Talk about the importance of slowing down their three-point shooters.
Well, I think they're a team that, one, any broadcast you watch of them, the one thing people talk about them is they put four shooters on the floor almost all the time. And so you've got to, in transition defense, in your half-court defense, always know where those shooters are and where their shots are going to come from. And in our game here, the first time, other than, like you said, the first possession, we did a great job of being there on the catch. And again, give them credit. They've got very good shooters, and they'll get it off quick if you're not there. And in the game here, we did a great job of finding them.
Tom said last week that even though it was a long shot, it's still a possibility that Christian could play tomorrow. What's his status heading into it?
I don't know.
Okay.
You mentioned Morgan before. I mean, he's obviously the big guy in the post. How have you seen him kind of develop and mature as this year's gone on?
Well, I think, one, people forget he's a redshirt freshman, and so he's really a year older. And I think what he's done is become more aggressive. I think just watching him in the last couple of games for him, whether it's going to the glass, whether it's wanting the ball in the post, he seems to just have gotten a confidence. And again, give their guards credit, they've also found a way to get him the ball. And so I think just an aggressiveness that I didn't see out of him maybe 3 weeks ago.
The last Michigan game, Holes hit three-pointers in the second half, and then Tom was talking about after the game he wanted to see Holes shoot a lot more, and that's exactly what he's done ever since. How have you seen Jordan Holes improve from that Michigan game?
Well, I think Jordy does a great job of too many times in basketball people get caught up in the number of shots instead of the number of shots made. When I look at stat sheets and see a guy scored 20 points, the first thing I want to do is look at how many shots did it take him to get 20. And sometimes when you look at leading scorers in the country, you go, wow, that guy's averaging 28 a game. Well, what you better do is look at how many shots he's taken to get those 28. I think Jordy at times, probably a month ago was passing up shots. And he's kind of started to figure out, I can't do that. I can't pass up an open shot. And yet he still takes great shots. And so I think what he's done is get more comfortable at knowing where his shots are and when he's got to take them. And he's become, I don't know if you'd say he's become more aggressive, but he's done a greater, I think like anybody, he's a sophomore. He's learning still every game what he can do and how it fits in. And now he's getting everybody's best defender. And yet the other night at Purdue, when the game's over, I think he had 15 shots when the game was over. So, and if you watched the game or you were there, they were there every time he had the ball. They had a defender locked in on him. So I think he's doing a better and better job all the time of finding where that shot is. To say there's a difference, I don't know if there's a difference. I think maybe he was passing up some open shots that he's not doing now.
How do you think he's adjusting just to having the additional, workload there? I mean, it seemed like he was used to sort of just waiting to get a really open look and take 4, maybe 5 a game. Now he's got to take 10 to 15 somewhere in there, and I imagine that kind of changes some of the dynamics. He's probably wearing his legs out a little bit more, trying to attack, trying to be more aggressive. How is he kind of adjusting just to the additional workload of having to be that much more of an offensive option?
think Jordy's always gonna, again, I go back to, there's not very many times you question the shot he takes. And like any shooter, you're always gonna have one or two that you go, wow. But, I think he's done a great job of it, and he continues, again, I always talk more about growth than I do, is he figuring this out or that? He's learning more and more every day how, at this level, to be successful scoring the basketball. And I think his development as a player keeps getting better and better. And so that's where more shots are coming, is through his development as a player at this level.
Looking back between the last time you guys played Michigan to now, what are you guys doing better now than you were doing back when you beat them then?
Well, I think we're defending, and we defended pretty well that game. I believe they had 15 at halftime, and I think, again, you look at our games, we've found a way to defend. We've found a way to, when we've struggled to score, to continue to defend and rebound and keep ourselves right where we have a chance to win the game. So I think we've continued to just get better defending the basketball, and that's helped us have the opportunity to win Big Ten games.
Did the radio show Monday, you're doing the press conference today, you feel like you're back in Wyoming?
No. Just, that's the crazy schedule we're on right now. Is that it?
Yep.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.